The Denver Broncos just made a fascinating move, bringing in an athlete who looks more like a superhero than a football player. This isn't your typical signing. This is a 6'6", 250-pound freak of nature who has the size, strength, and raw athleticism to turn heads instantly. His name is Patrick Murdo, a former decathlete with deep ties to Denver's tight end room and the potential to carve out a role that could surprise a lot of people. He's been through adversity, breaking his ankle in Jaguars camp last year, but even then, coaches and teammates couldn't stop talking about his talent. Before the injury, he looked every bit the part of a future star. And here's the kicker: Murdo isn't just strong, he's versatile. He's played Australian rugby, bringing a rare skill set and natural toughness that fits perfectly with the physical identity Sean Payton wants to build in Denver. You watch him move, and it's clear, this guy isn't just an experiment, he's a weapon waiting to be unleashed. On top of that, Broncos fans finally got a breath of relief with Marvin Mims. The young wideout's injury news is trending in the right direction. Still, there's mixed news on other key players as Denver braces for its Week 1 battle against the Tennessee Titans. Sean Payton, the master strategist, is already playing roster chess. The NFL allows teams an extra spot on the practice squad for international players, and Payton has found a way to use that rule to Denver's advantage. Instead of joking around about Canadian or Brazilian roots, the Broncos went out and found a legitimate athletic marvel who could change the dynamics of this roster. Patrick Murdo may not be a household name yet, but don't be surprised if his journey in Denver becomes one of the most intriguing stories of the season. Watch Patrick Murdo leap, and you immediately see it. This isn't just an athlete, this is a rare talent with explosive power. At 6'6" and 250 pounds, he moves with the kind of grace you don't expect from someone his size. His vertical, his body control, the way he attacks the ball in the air, it all screams natural playmaker. Yes, the broken ankle during Jaguars camp was a setback, but his upside is undeniable. Even Evan Engram couldn't believe how quickly Murdo was developing before the injury. That speaks volumes. It wouldn't be surprising if Engram himself was among those encouraging Sean Payton to bring him into Denver's system. Thanks to his international status, Murdo doesn't count against the practice squad limit, meaning the Broncos get this kind of upside without losing a roster spot. That's smart business. And here's why it matters. Denver's tight end room has been a concern. Last season, the Broncos ranked near the bottom of the league in almost every category at the position. Outside of Engram, there hasn't been enough firepower. If anything happens to him, the team could find itself in serious trouble. That's why adding Murdo is so intriguing. He's raw, yes, but his athletic profile mirrors Engram's in many ways, yet he's younger, hungrier, and still learning. If he develops even half of what his potential suggests, the Broncos may have just uncovered a hidden gem. This is the kind of move that doesn't just fill a roster spot, it could change the future of a position that desperately needs new life. Sean Payton broke it down perfectly. There are two types of practice squad players. First, the developmental prospects, guys you hope can grow throughout the season, improving enough to eventually contribute by mid-year. Then there are the AA players, players ready to step in immediately if called upon, like a break glass in case of emergency option. Looking at Denver's roster, it's clear who falls into each category. Someone like Caleb Lohner is a developmental piece, talented but still raw, with Payton himself acknowledging that he'll need time before he's game ready. On the other hand, players like LaVale Bailey, Adam Prentice, and A.T. Perry are the AA types. If injuries strike, they can step into live action and hold their own without hesitation. The balance of this practice squad is impressive. It feels built with both the future and the present in mind, developmental talent waiting to grow alongside battle-ready depth pieces. And when you stack that with the 53-man roster, the outlook is strong. Truthfully, it's hard to find a single position group, outside of special teams, that looks weaker than it did last season. Even better, Denver fans got some fantastic news on the injury front. Marvin Mims, who had left practice with a groin issue, raised immediate red flags since groin injuries can linger and derail entire seasons. But Sean Payton quickly shut down the panic. He made it clear, the team isn't concerned, and Mims should be fine moving forward. That's huge relief heading into Week 1. Sean Payton provided a crucial update in his latest press conference. Players were given a short break before returning to practice on Monday, and Payton made it clear Marvin Mims is expected back on the field. That's a massive sigh of relief. Mims played nearly every snap with Bo Nix during the preseason, yet the Broncos haven't even shown the full extent of how they plan to use him. Payton clearly has big plans for the young wideout entering his second season with Nix and his third in Denver. But while the Mims news is encouraging, there was another comment that raised some eyebrows. Payton addressed the linebacker group, specifically Alex Singleton and Dre Greenlaw, and hinted they could be on a pitch count early on. In other words, he doesn't want them playing 70 snaps a game in Week 1. That kind of statement immediately makes you wonder, how healthy are they really? The roster construction backs up that concern. Denver loaded up at linebacker, keeping Justin Sternad, Kareem Reed, and LaVale Bailey on the depth chart, with Drew Sanders set to return as well. It feels like Payton is preparing for the possibility that Singleton or Greenlaw may not hold up across a full season. Still, the upside is obvious. If Dre Greenlaw can stay on the field for most of the year, this defense instantly elevates. His range, instincts, and physicality are the kind of traits that transform a unit from solid to dominant. The depth behind him is insurance, but make no mistake, Denver's ceiling on defense is tied to keeping their linebackers healthy and on the field. If Dre Greenlaw can give Denver a full season, this defense has the potential to be the very best in football. He's that impactful, but if injuries limit him to only 10 games, suddenly that linebacker depth becomes a real concern. It's a reminder of just how thin the margin is between greatness and vulnerability in the NFL. Still, the overall energy around this team feels different, completely different from past years. Sean Payton's confidence heading into Week 1 is undeniable. In his words and his approach, there's a calm certainty, not the tension or unease that hovered over his first season in Denver. He knows how important a fast start is, and unlike last year, there's no sense of feeling things out. This roster is ready. And a big reason for that belief? Bo Nix. 1 year ago, Nix was just being announced as the starter. Now he has an entire season of experience under his belt, and the confidence radiating from both Payton and the locker room shows. This is no longer a quarterback trying to prove he belongs. This is a young leader who has earned his place. Even special teams, once a question mark, is starting to come together. The punting game sparked concerns during camp, especially with Jeremy Crenshaw struggling for consistency. Early mistakes raised doubts, but Payton and special teams coordinator Ben Kotwicka worked closely with him, and the improvement has been noticeable. Still, the NFL is unforgiving. You don't get warm-up kicks. When your number is called, you have to deliver immediately. Denver knows it, and that's why attention to detail is sharper than ever. Sean Payton's leadership continues to shine, not just in how he manages players, but in how he empowers his coaching staff. During practice, the Broncos aren't waiting for special teams periods anymore. Instead, punts are called suddenly in the middle of drills, forcing players to be game ready at all times. That kind of preparation makes a difference on Sundays. And Payton never hesitates to give credit where it's due. He openly praised Ben Kotwicka for the adjustments in the punting game, and he highlighted Davis Webb for calling plays in the preseason. That's the mark of a true leader, one who builds trust by shining a spotlight on others. It's the kind of culture that keeps good coaches around and strengthens the foundation of a franchise. Meanwhile, the growth of Bo Nix is becoming impossible to ignore. This time last year, he was a rookie still learning the system, often slow to the line and limited in his reads. Now, offensive linemen are noticing a huge difference. Nix is getting to the line of scrimmage 5 to 10 seconds faster with a deeper command of the playbook. Sean Payton admits the process is still building, and he isn't throwing the entire playbook at Nix all at once. But the progress is obvious. Instead of locking onto one side of the field, Nix is processing multiple reads, scanning defenses with poise, and playing with confidence. The leap from year 1 to year 2 is dramatic, and it's exactly what Denver needs as they prepare to open the season. Now with the full playbook at his disposal, Bo Nix continues to develop under Sean Payton's careful guidance. Payton isn't rushing the process, he's building his quarterback the right way, step by step. That patience is paying off, and it's giving Denver a young leader with the tools to take command of this offense for years to come. And the ripple effect of Payton's leadership is being felt across the roster. One of the clearest examples is Sam Ehlinger. Reports reveal that Ehlinger turned down nearly $700,000 a year to serve as a backup quarterback elsewhere, choosing instead to remain in Denver on the practice squad. Think about that. He walked away from real money to stay here. Why? Because he believes in this team. That decision speaks volumes. Either Ehlinger trusts Payton to elevate backup quarterbacks into legitimate earners, like we saw with Zach Wilson, or he knows this roster has a real shot at a Super Bowl run and wants to be part of it. Either way, it proves the culture in Denver is strong. People want to play for Sean Payton. For years, outsiders claimed players didn't want to be under Payton's demanding style. But the truth? Guys are sacrificing money and opportunity just to stay in Denver. That's not fear, that's belief. And Payton himself is showing a different side. Instead of being uptight under the weight of expectations, he's relaxed, confident, even playful. This is a coach who just told the national media that the Broncos have everything needed for a Super Bowl run, and instead of shying away from that pressure, he's embracing it with humor and swagger. That confidence is contagious, and it's exactly what this team needed heading into a new season. Sean Payton isn't hiding from expectations, he's embracing them. When a coach sets the bar sky high, you can tell a lot about their confidence by how they act. If Payton were nervous about living up to it, he wouldn't be out there releasing playful videos and challenging old friends from his alma mater. That's not fear, that's swagger. And it's the kind of energy that has players lining up to play for him, even taking pay cuts just to be part of this culture. The proof is everywhere. Former Saints have followed him to Denver. New faces are choosing the Broncos over bigger paychecks elsewhere. This is Sean Payton's team, and the buy-in is undeniable. Then came the words that sealed the moment. General Manager George Paton, known for being measured and careful with his words, finally spoke with conviction. He called Bo Nix a franchise quarterback. That's not just hype from fans or the media. That's the organization itself putting its faith in Nix as the future of Denver football. Paton went further, praising the trenches on both sides of the ball, calling the rebuilt lines the foundation of a winning team. And he's right, when you dominate in the trenches, you dominate games. The Broncos have set the bar high. They've stacked their roster, rebuilt their culture, and declared to the league that they're ready. The offseason was a statement. Now the regular season is here. The wait is over. Broncos football is back.